2020, a monthly East Long Meadow Library Board of Trustees meeting. It's starting at 6:06 due to some technical difficulties. First thing I would like to do is, where's my agenda? Oh, I know where it is. The meeting's called to order. We'll do a roll call. I'm Michael Gray. I'm the chairman. And now I'll call other people. Layla Johnston, present or not?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. David, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Good. Diane, Tiago, are you here?
Here.
Okay. Cindy McNaught,
Yes, I'm here finally.
Kendra Levesque,
Here.
and Melanie Manheim.
Yes, present.
Okay. So just to let you know, due to technical difficulties, we haven't seen Melanie, but she is here. So you know. All right. So the first thing is, are there any public comments? I guess that would be if somebody's logged on and we can hear them. Or maybe that's just for face-to-face meetings. I don't think we have any public comments, and I haven't heard anybody say anything.
Nope.
Okay. So the next thing is we will talk about the meeting minutes from our last June 17th meeting. Layla sent out the copy that Kendra put together for us. Does anyone have any comments on the agenda from last week? Okay, I do. All right. So under part 3, guest opportunity to address the board, down towards the bottom, there's a bullet point and it says, also included are activity challenges like Tanglewood virtual concerts, virtual yoga classes. I think that should read, also included are activity challenges with prizes awarded, such as Tanglewood virtual concerts, tickets to Tanglewood concerts, something like that. Does everybody understand that? The way it's worded right now, it sounds like the challenge is a Tanglewood virtual concert. Everybody with me? Everybody's silent.
Yep.
Somebody
Yep.
say,
No, that makes sense.
So
Okay.
are the Tanglewood virtual concerts, are those prizes?
They're prizes.
Okay.
Right. So that's good. Then the other thing, under the director's report, I'd just like to call to everybody's attention that under it says library-specific safety standards will be continuously updated. And I think the trustees should at least have read those. So I'd like to ask all my trustees to go there and see what the state safety standards are for libraries so we know what we're talking about. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Does anyone else have any other comments about the this document? No? Okay, then I would like to hear a motion to accept this with the one amendment that Kendra will make. I think we can do it that way, I hope. Do I hear a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
And I'll second that. Melanie will second that.
Thank you, Melanie. Okay, so the next thing on our agenda is this month's director's report. Layla, you're on.
Thank you. We'll start with public services. Curbside pickup began on June 8th. Patrons holds in the online log, and when those items are ready for pickup, library staff check the items out to the patron and call them to schedule a pickup time. The items are placed in paper bags and put on a table outside the west-facing entrance. Bags are labeled with the patron's first 4 letters of their last name and the last 4 digits of their phone number to protect patron privacy. Curbside pickup hours are available between 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. on Mondays and between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. Patrons are all very pleased with the service and are very happy to be able to borrow books and other items again. I am very pleased to report that we have over 770 individuals registered for and participating in the virtual summer reading program, Imagine Your Story. So far, there are 156,000 minutes read by 67 teens, 97 adults, 347 children, and 198 preschoolers. 245,156 minutes equals 4,235 hours of reading by East Long Meadow Public Library patrons. Thank you to the library staff for working very hard to make summer reading as exciting as possible for our families this year. And thank you to the Friends of the East Long Meadow Public Library for sponsoring the program. And just a quick update, there was an email that went out. My numbers are already outdated. We've already surpassed those minutes read of today. So I'm catching up a little bit, but we're over, we're just thrilled that many people are participating in the virtual program. Building maintenance. Carpets are scheduled to be replaced in the teen area, the children's room, and the circulation workspace beginning tomorrow morning. That's Thursday, July 16th. Thank you to the Friends of the East Long Meadow Public Library for sponsoring the carpet replacement. We are sure that patrons will also appreciate the new carpet as well once the building is open. Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners, the required annual report information survey, known as ARIS, opened on July 1st, and the deadline for submitting the ARIS report this year is October 2nd, 2020, due to pandemic-related library building closures. Signature pages will be required to be submitted electronically this year rather than by mail as in the past. And I was on a webinar with the MBLC, and they had been talking about trying to go paper-free for a couple years, so this kind of pushed them into it. Phased reopening. So updated sector-specific workplace safety standards for libraries were released on July 6th, and the updated standards can be accessed on the mass.gov website, and I included the specific link for libraries in my report. So the most recent version that we have is the July 6th dated document. Glass has been ordered for the service desks and for the public computers. Hand sanitizing stations have been installed in the north and west facing vestibules and near the circulation desk. Disinfectants and other necessary supplies are ordered, but like many other libraries, we're experiencing delays due to supply chain disruptions. Results of research conducted by scientific laboratory Battelle were published on June 22nd. Battelle partnered with the Institute of Museum and Library Services to determine if circulating library materials poses a risk of virus transmission through contact with commonly circulated items such as books and DVDs. And this is, I'm going to read a direct quote from the research report. Materials tested in phase 1 included the cover of hardcover books, buckram cloth, the cover of softback books, plain paper pages inside a closed book, Mylar protective book cover jackets, and plastic DVD cases. The Battelle tests found the virus undetectable after 1 day on the covers of hardback and softback books, as well as the DVD case. The virus was undetectable on the paper inside of a book and Mylar book jackets after 3 days. And I included a link to the full report if anybody wants more information on the research that's being done. So based on those recommendations, all returned items are being quarantined in the community and conference rooms for 72 hours before they're being checked in and before being shelved in order to ensure we are not facilitating circulation of the virus on library materials. The next round of Battelle testing of the virus will include glossy magazines and board books. Everyone is very curious to hear what they have to say about magazines. And finally, 2 part-time clerks that were furloughed were recalled to work on July 13th. And the information that I had at the time of this report is that the town is operating on a 1/12 budget for the months of July through September, but that may or may not change depending on future meetings of town council. I'll be sure to update everybody. And that's my report for this month.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the director's report of July 15th, 2020?
I'll make a
I'll make a motion to accept the director's report for today, July 15th.
Okay, thank you, Diane. I heard someone else.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. Okay, so be it. The next one is committee reports. The only committee I think we have sort of going is the pandemic policy. And I think we should maybe talk about that. Should we talk about that now? I think, yeah, might as well. All right, so this is David's project, and Diane has done a really great job with her third update. It's draft 3.
Right.
Does everybody have a copy of that? I mean,
I do.
if you don't, well, you might not follow some of this, but David, why don't you go ahead and talk? This is 2 pages long,
Right.
and I have some things to talk about, but let's just go through it.
Okay.
And you know, that way the people who are watching this episode of our show can know that these are the things that we're looking at. Okay.
Right. Okay. This is for the draft number 3. And it basically says East Long Meadow Public Library pandemic/health emergency policy. That's the one I've got, that one we're working off of.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first paragraph starts with the East Long Meadow Public Library has established the following policy: in an event of a serious infectious disease outbreak, such as an epidemic, pandemic, or other public health emergency. And that was it. Do we want to add anything there? It seems to kind of just.
I think we can add it to the next section.
Okay.
Because this is sort of like here's what this is.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose we can just have that policy. Okay. In green here, it says the policy differs from the general emergency preparedness policy or procedure. Within emergency preparedness policy, there's an assumption that the staff will return in the building or begin recovery work almost immediately after the event or crisis, fire, storm, or utility shortage. If there is an infectious disease outbreak, recovery may be slow and limited. Staff services and hours may be necessary for several weeks or more. During a public health emergency, businesses, social organization, libraries, or schools may be required to take unique measures to help slow the spread of illness. Adapt from, that's all. It was adapted from the Saratoga Springs.
Right.
So
Layla, do you
does
have any? Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
no, does anybody have anything on that?
No, I think that says it pretty well.
Yeah, Diane put adapted, which is great. She's crediting these things, but I think
Right,
we should do what the other libraries have done, which is at the bottom of this, just say thank you
that's
to the
true.
libraries of all the ones that we've borrowed from, and say thank you for your work. We've put that together for our library or something.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Number 1, it's the East Long Meadow Public Library will close due to a pandemic in the event if mandate or recommendation for closure issued by public health or government officials on the local, county, or state level.
Should we also include federal level there too? Just in case that ever should happen.
On federal, you said, or?
Well, should we also include the federal level? I mean,
yeah,
the federal level.
Probably. State, it should be local, county, state, or federal.
I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Leila?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
You sure?
okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, she's living it, so.
Number 2, at the discretion of the library director or town manager, the East Long Meadow Public Art Library may close, reduce its operating hours, or limit services temporarily, programming in an event that there is not sufficient staff to maintain basic library service levels. In the event of a closure, items that are checked out will be placed in a amnesty mode to waive late fees, late charges once the library, the exterior of the book will remain open as long as permitted. That's
That was-
adapted from Stoughton. So
That, the last sentence was the exterior book drop.
the exterior book drop. Okay, yeah, book drop will remain open. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
in the case of our library now, where we're going fine free, that might not always be that we're going to be fine free. So should we just leave it like this?
Leila?
It says to waive charges. We're not charging.
It's a little, I think it's actually less clear to say that items will be placed in an amnesty mode, because that's not really the procedure. But
That's what,
when items are checked in, the amnesty mode refers to the specific catalog function that we're using to check. Like, you're not going to be placing it in amnesty mode. That, I think patrons are going to hear that and they're going to think, because not only are we getting a lot of phone calls about the quarantine, because items are still on their account as they sit in quarantine, then they'll be calling and saying, well, you placed it in amnesty mode. And that's not really what that means. What that means is simply that there won't be any fees, any overdue fees.
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so should we,
sorry, go ahead.
Say, Leila, do you have a suggestion as to how to word it differently so that it's proper?
I thought that the original wording from, I think this was, Lunenburg maybe.
I think it was Lunenburg.
In the event of a closure, items will be checked in amnesty mode to waive late charges once the library reopens. I think that is maybe just a little bit
Yeah.
more clear.
I think that's more clear.
okay, so
Also,
take out,
oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, so take out the, where it's, that will be, okay, so just leave it in black, basically, amnesty mode will be waived.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
okay.
just for clarification here, the only things that are going to be waived, products that are from other libraries, right?
So I think it would be more correct to just say, in the event of a closure, items will be checked in amnesty mode to waive overdue fees rather than late charges, because we won't waive damage, for example. You know,
Right.
if somebody damages the item and we can't circulate it anymore, we're going to charge them for a replacement copy. So I think it would be better to more clearly state overdue fines.
Overdue fees or fines,
All right, overdue fines, yeah.
okay?
So basically, we're taking out the words late charges and we're putting in overdue fines.
You could just say,
Right.
fines. Just, yeah, you don't even need overdue, just say fines.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
On to number 3.
3, on to number 3, right?
Yep.
In the event of any East Long Meadow District school is closed due to confirmed cases of illness, the East Long Meadow Public Library will remain open unless one of the aforementioned requirements, aforementioned requirements for closures are also met. However, library programs and special events may be canceled or on any day on which the East Long Meadow Public Schools are closed because of illness.
Everybody
Anybody?
okay with that? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Number 4. Should school be canceled due to pandemic, the library will also be closed as any reasons for closing, no, that doesn't sound, as any reason for closing the school could be circumvented or undetermined if any large groups
Undermined.
or
Undermine.
undermined, I'm sorry, if large groups of students or families gathered at the library instead of at the school.
I think you could make it simpler. I think you could just say, should school be canceled due to a pandemic, the library will also be closed, and just leave it at that.
I
Yeah,
think that.
that's good.
Right,
Okay, that's good.
okay.
Okay, number 5, the minimum staff requirement policy. I was wondering about that myself. This number 5 is well, wait. The minimum staff requirement policy says the minimum staff level will remain in effect in the event of a pandemic. Library staff sick leave policy as outlined in the library union contract shall be followed in the event of the pandemic outbreak. Added by library director, library staffing procedures and requirements for vacations and other use of part-time paid will follow the town of East Long Meadow staffing policy. The level of excused absence of the library staff will determine the ability to carry out services and maintain open hours. Phases may include, I don't know, I think this is not necessary to have in there. I don't know why, but it's not really part of the pandemic. That's,
Is there a minimum staff requirement policy, Leila?
I can answer that part of the question. We don't have a minimum staffing policy. We do have a procedure. And that's that we need 4 employees to be in the building in order to open to the public. Well, this is very different, right?
right, yeah, no, I know.
The town did issue a staffing policy for vacations and quarantine requirements and so on and so forth. So all vacations are following that with the coordination of the HR consultant right now. So again, we don't have a minimum staff requirement policy, but we do have a minimum staff requirement procedure.
Procedure, okay.
So Leila, do you think we should eliminate this or just put the minimum staff requirement procedure
So I
will
think
remain in effect during the pandemic?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Leila?
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Instead of putting all this in there about the union contract and carrying out services, maybe it's just a one-liner that says the minimum staff procedure will remain in effect in the event of a pandemic.
I think that's good, but and I think it would also for the staff if we just put in there that about the town's staffing policy requirements.
Can you put that into a sentence?
Library staffing procedures, it's right here. Library staffing procedures and requirements for vacations and other use of paid time off will follow the town of East Long Meadow staffing policy.
That's great.
Okay, okay, so basically in that second, yeah, okay. Do you want the union contract in there or no? You don't?
Because we would follow that anyway, and
So,
being a unique,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, shall be followed in the event. Okay, gotcha. Okay, the rest we'll take out basically. Okay. Okay, what do we got here?
So
This
I have
part-
a quick question. Are we taking out those 3 bullet points? The cancellation, reduction, and closure?
I just saw that on the second page. I just noticed that.
Or do you,
Yeah, are we
would
gonna
Leila-
take out those where it says cancellation of all programs, special events and meetings? That's kind of, I don't know. And
Well,
closure,
these are library,
Proceed, yeah.
Because that
I mean,
basically explains about the programs and special events, and that, just gives everybody a heads up, I think, that, the program, special events in the meeting room will be canceled because of that.
Can I maybe make a suggestion that it might fit under number 1?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense, Michael. The cancellation, yeah.
So let's go on to number 6.
Okay, number 1. I'll put that.
So you
Okay,
want to
number
put all,
6.
is your suggestion to put all of the bulleted items in
Yeah,
number
I'll
1?
put in number 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we've got number 6 here. In the event of closure necessitated by a pandemic, effective communication about any reduction in services or open hours is the utmost importance. Library staff should immediately post information about closure on the library website, social media sites, on the entry door of the library, on the cancellations.com and the Town of East Long Meadow website.
And what about the reminder, or is that a social media site?
I would have to pay the reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You have to pay to tell them that the library is closed?
cancellations.com. That must be something that they use themselves. I looked into it a little bit, and it's, I just don't think it's something our patrons would really use. Our patrons
Yeah.
look at our website and the town website, for example.
So we'll take out cancellations.com and just say on the Town of East Long Meadow's website, we'll just take that out, right?
Doesn't the reminder put public notices like that in for free? They used to.
I don't know about that, but if there's like thing, I contact WWLP.
Oh,
and those
sure.
sites. But I don't
okay.
think Reminder does that for free. I'm not quite sure.
I had some things put in for free, but maybe they don't do that now.
They're desperate. They're asking for donations.
Yeah.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. It's sad.
They are?
Yeah.
If you look at their website, the Reminder is asking for help right now. So if you need any ads, I guess take them out in the Reminder.
This is not a good time for free, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's move on.
Okay, number 7, if reduced staff opening hours or services are required, library staff shall perform priority responsibilities that directly impact patrons prior to any other work task. Priority responsibilities shall follow in this order: direct patron assistance, checkout, issuing library cards, computer and reference assistance, facility and collection supervision / safety, patron relative task, check-in, incoming delivery, shelving, I don't know what, workflow tasks, pull list, material orders, cataloging, essential services, payroll, processing bill for payments, and library board meetings. And then it goes on.
David,
Those are
Yep. What, Diane?
that was more of an internal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in between the staff and library director. So I question where it actually, the Roman 1, 2, 3, 4.
4, right. Do those have to be in there, really? I mean,
I don't think so.
no, I don't think so either.
I don't think so. But
No.
I'm wondering if just that one sentence, if reduced staffing, open hours, or services are
Yeah.
required, library staff shall perform priority responsibilities.
Yeah,
Just-
responsibilities, yeah.
Just let it
Okay.
go. I don't know. Layla, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we can keep the first sentence.
Yeah.
Right,
Strike the priority responsibilities.
Okay,
If there's an emergency, these priorities may change.
Okay.
I know, I mean,
Now-
basically, staff's gotta look to the director, you know?
Now you go into that next paragraph, Diane, where it says individual responsibilities outside. Should we strike that or?
Oh, I thought that one too. I'm just asking questions here.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Because-
gotcha.
Again, that's, to me, that's kind of internal,
Yeah,
again. But that was, in the first draft, so I didn't want to scratch
yeah,
that
no,
out.
I know. Yeah, no, I know.
Leila, do you agree?
Good if we leave in the sentence that starts, employees should consult with the director to determine staffing area assignment and which individual work task should take priority. I think that's pretty, we could keep that in there.
Okay, okay. Gotcha.
And I agree with that. I like that sentence in there.
Okay, good. So
Okay,
it's two
good.
That's
two sentences so
Okay,
far.
so,
Then we have the green
gotcha.
section.
Then we got the green section.
Yeah.
Okay, the library will strive to minimize negative impacts on access to resources and services resulting from procedures adopting in response to a public health emergency. It will maintain services to the greatest extent possible while simultaneously working to provide safe facilities and cooperating with the public health authorities.
I kind of like that paragraph.
Well, I like
Yeah.
it, but it doesn't belong in under number 7. Because
Yeah.
number 7 is about reduced staffing. So we should
Yeah.
think about moving that,
Moving
maybe to number 1 again.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
I'll just put
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
Number 1. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so 7 continues here. Okay. Where 7 continues to where it says library staffing will be provided with added by library director, non-medical grade face coverings, disposable gloves, hand sanitizer, and surface disinfectants. In the event that shortages are anticipated, appropriate responses to such a shortage will be considered, including an up to closure of the library.
I don't think, well,
Yeah, I don't
here's the
think
thing. It doesn't say when.
right.
So to me, it's not specific enough. I mean, if you want to put it under reduced staffing, it seems to me that, well, I was going to get to this later, but we only have 2 more.
Right.
We need to reorganize this
Yeah,
a little bit better. And under this one, though, before I lose it, it says they'll be provided with disposable gloves, but I think it needs to say they'll be provided with all the PPE stuff.
right.
You know, from the moment that the library starts to either shut down or close,
Right.
and throughout it coming back out of closure, when it's starting to rev back up, and then up to, I think it's up to either us or at least Layla should have some input. But once we're up and running, just to be careful, should we have people wear masks and have all that stuff like a month after we're fully open again, just for safety of the staff and of other
Right.
people, because you wear the face masks to protect other people, not to protect yourself.
That's correct.
The town is following CDC guidelines and the requirements issued by the governor. So, for example, for workplace safety, the town is required to provide non-medical grade face coverings to all town employees. So that's why I added that in there.
But when? What's not here is, it says we'll give them this stuff, but
Right.
and it's under the pandemic policy, but when does it start and when does it end? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't say when.
I'm assuming the guidance that we have right now for those workplace safety standards that I sent everybody the link.
Right.
That we have right now is that until we hit phase 4, we will all be masked in the workplace, and those masks will be provided by. So there is no time frame. I know, and
No.
that's what makes the pandemic so
Wouldn't that be up to the CDC and the guidelines to do that way?
Right.
So we can't really put that in a policy
Oh,
other
wait a
than to
minute.
say that we be guided by the CDC policies.
Yeah, but that's what we can do. It can read, library staff will be provided with disposable gloves, hand sanitizer, and surface disinfectants, and other preventative measures as according to the CDC guidelines.
That's right.
That,
And maybe,
that sounds
maybe
good.
number 7 could be like just the safety paragraph. Yeah.
I like it in there in case.
So
the
it says
library
for
staff
the safety of, for the safety of our patrons and our staff, we will follow the CDC guidelines.
Yeah,
And
that's good. So, you need to say what it, what
it
is the guidelines for what? So you
For-
could say, like you said,
Right.
PPE,
for face masks and stuff. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
good.
So we don't need in the event of the shortages, we don't need all.
No.
No.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay, good.
if you can't provide safety, you're not going to open.
Right,
Correct.
right. Okay,
Okay.
we're moving on to number 8. If for any reason the library director is unable or unavailable to perform the responsibilities and decisions outlined in this policy, administrative authoritatively for this policy, and all library operations shall follow the responsibility for the library operations policy.
What is that? What is that?
We don't have
Do
a
we-
policy for that. We have a procedure, and it's called
Yeah,
librarian in charge. Is
okay,
the procedure available than
right.
the children's librarian, or whichever more senior person is in the building at that time.
Okay.
Okay,
So how should we word this?
yeah.
Diane?
Is it more of, instead of the word policy, it's more of a library operations procedure? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you could change it to procedure, and that would be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Library procedure
Yeah.
at the end.
But do you
Okay.
want the word responsibility for library operations as a, is there such a thing?
So what we call it is we call it librarian in charge.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
So you
so
could
the library operations shall follow the librarian in charge procedure.
There's a leadership chart that do you still have that, Leila?
yeah, the organizational chart.
Yeah, the organizational chart, yeah. So it would kind of go by that.
Okay.
Oh, we got
Okay.
one more to go.
One number 9. The East Long Meadow Public Library will reopen based on the guidelines set forth by the governor of Massachusetts, the town manager, the town health department, as well as guidance provided by the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners.
That's a good.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
like the fact that we go from, closure through short staffing and then into reopening.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
that's good.
So,
Okay, I've got some notes here, and I'll adjust everything and send it out to everybody and back to what you have, and maybe you
Okay.
can help me out, and then we'll go from there.
just one more thing from me.
Okay,
All right, so we have these 9 things.
yeah,
When I went through, it's like 1, 2, and 6 are about closure. Okay.
right,
I think those maybe should be closer together, or one after
Yeah.
the other somehow. And then there's a little bit in 2 also about insufficient staff, but also, so part of 2, 5, and 7 are about reduced staffing. And then 8 is about the library director gets sick or something. So
right.
I just want to say, from a organizational point of view, you might want to put the closure stuff, close together, and then the
Yeah,
reduced staffing, like, okay, now we're in the middle of it stuff
right,
in the middle, and then we wind up with the will reopen based on the
Right.
guidelines.
Right, okay.
Does anybody?
Yeah, that makes sense. You can kind of organize it by safety and staff, and like you said, the things that fit together should stay.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
great. So,
Okay.
David
Yep.
and Diane, thank you for your work on that. It's a great
Okay.
start. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's a
we have
start.
to rush. We don't have to rush this. You know, not that we want to delay anything, but we want to
No.
get it right. We want to have
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that
sure.
other libraries start copying. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So, our next is new business. Do any of you have any new business? Okay, well, I do. Okay, so the first thing is, let's see, where did I put that? Over here. I got an email, maybe we all got an email. I get lots of emails from Bruno and Maura and Robert, who are part of the Board of Library Commissioners and all that. We get lots of stuff, and I get some other stuff from Libraries 2.0. I had a nice talk with Layla earlier this month, and what Layla told me that we could really look well, what she said was that we could, as trustees, it's real important that we are advocates for the library. And I know I could do better on this, but now that I'm the chairman, I really could do better on this. We need to, I mean, all of us, if possible, except Kendra, who's going to have a marvelous baby. We need to go to some of this stuff. We need to try to, as soon as put stuff on the calendar, or talk to each other. I'd like to go, if we all could, you know, or either if it's online, we're going to do it. In the future, maybe we could all go together. But we need to advocate for the Meadow Library, and the places are at some of these meetings, just to have East Long Meadow Library be, you know, hey, somebody's listening from that library. I think it matters, or it could matter. And the other thing is that, and I'll talk to some of you about this, but I want you to think about it between now and when I call you. I'd like us to think about watching or attending not in person, but, you know, like watching it when it happens, the town council meeting. I think it would be good, not that they have lots of library issues, but just for them to, you know if it's possible that we could speak up or do something, just to say that the Board of Trustees of the library are here, and we're paying attention, and we want you to take care of the library. There's other things that happen, which are like senators and congressmen come around. I know this is extra time, but I think that if what we can really do best for the library is to advocate for the library, we can't just attend this meeting. We need to get out there and do some advocating. And I'd like everybody to commit to at least one, if not more, in the next year of, like, you know, going to some of this stuff. And if you go and somebody else doesn't, to give us a report in our monthly meeting that you went. The people that watch this show are gonna know that we're advocating the library, and then we'll all learn something. So that was my little soapbox. All right. And one of the things that is coming up, gotta find it, is there's going to be a library. Let's see, I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. All right. I think it's August 4th. Yeah, August 4th through 6th. There's a free registration to the United for Libraries virtual conference. and they're gonna have live and recorded webinars for friends and trustees. This says under 40. I don't know what that means. I'm not under 40, but advocacy, fundraising, and more. So there's no reason why a good fundraising idea couldn't come from trustees. Our advocacy could come from the trustees. Where could we do things? We can maybe get some ideas from this. It also says there'll be discussion forums for trustees and friends groups. So, you know, unless Layla knows this group, United for Libraries, and suggests against it, I think we all should just put August 4th through 6th on our calendars, and if we can, you know, do one of these things.
I think that's a great idea, and United for Libraries is a division of the American Library Association. That's a great idea, Michael. I appreciate you bringing that up. I think that's fantastic.
Okay.
So Mike, when is it? It's all of those days, and then you pick the webinar you want to listen to?
I don't know a lot about it. It says the statewide group membership is made possible with federal funds. Now, I don't know if we have to join as the trustees or if we have to join as East Long Meadow Library, but let's all email that I hope we all got from Maura Didi that came on July 15th, which is today, right?
Oh, I don't think
at 10:33. So check your emails and stuff, and let's just, you know, we have up till August. So, I mean, we're gonna have it, well, it's only a couple weeks away.
that's right.
So let's talk on the phone and let's see if we can get, you know, if some of us can cover some of this stuff. I think that'd be great. So, you know, we'll all sort of look into it and figure out how we get signed up. All right. I'm sorry, but I got this today, so I haven't been able to make any calls or check it out yet, but I think it's a good thing we should do. All right, so that's my new business. Let me just see if I should have gotten approval to accept anything. No, the pandemic policy isn't done yet. So the next is the Friends of the Library report. My understanding is the Friends of the Library haven't met since February. Diane, is that true?
Yeah, let me think. Once the library closed down, that was it. Your email or by phone.
Okay, well that, you know, it'd be nice if the Friends still kept something simmering as opposed to just shutting down.
Yeah, well, I mean, July and August has always been the 2 months that they haven't, they haven't, like they take a little reset.
Okay.
So we'll be back operating again, like in September, see what we can do.
And I understand they have an amazing new president.
Indeed, they do.
You guys are funny.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's not funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, they couldn't have a better person. For you folks at home, Diane Tiago, she's going to make sure that the library gets lots of good money next year, right?
Well,
money and advocacy.
Yeah.
That's our mission statement, you know?
What was that, Diane?
I say, you know, supporting our library, that's in our mission statement.
That is the mission, yes.
Yeah, so.
Okay, other business, anybody?
No.
No, okay. So the date of our next virtual meeting is Wednesday, August 19th at 6 p.m. or shortly thereafter due to technical difficulties. So don't go away if you're there at 6 and we don't show up. And I think that's it. Unless somebody has anything else to say, I would like a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the
Do
July.
I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kendra. All right, so our meeting is over. Everybody stay safe.
Yep.
And we'll see you next month.
Take
Okay.
care.
Thanks,
Yep.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And
Bye.
Ryan, can you stay with me to help me figure out my my video, please? If you don't mind.
Sure, it's probably sitting on your computer though.
This is just so odd. This has never happened before. So do you want me to? Okay, so I stopped video. Oh, Ryan. Okay, so on my stop video, I was clicking on the up arrow, and that was showing me a box that read select a camera, easy camera, choose virtual background and video settings. And I was clicking on and off of easy camera thinking that was it. I didn't need to click on the up arrow in that stop video. What I should have done was click on the entire icon of stop video